All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wilkes Virtual Roundtable. Hopefully, we won't have to do this too often, but it's a great means to get together and talk about scouting and how we can keep scouting at home and what all is going on with the council and nationwide and things like that. As many of you know, my name's Hunter Day. I'm your district executive, and we are also joined by um, Mr. Will Bishop as well. So, our district commissioner, Will, can you say hey to us?
Hello, everybody. Good to be here.
Good deal. Thanks, Will. And we're going to go over some details real quick, and we'll be right back with you, okay? All righty. So just a couple of things to get off the bat. Of course, we are doing this virtually, so please bear with us if we have any technical difficulties or things like that. It has the tendency to buffer at times, so we may miss a couple words here and there, but just stay with us if you will. As we are going to kick off a little bit, we're just going to talk about some of the key details of what has been canceled, what's been postponed, and things like that as far as our district and council activities. So the big things right now that have been postponed, our district annual meeting where we recharter the district each year by adding new members and whatnot. We have postponed that to a date we are not exactly sure at this time. We'll set that once we kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel with COVID-19 and all of that. We definitely still want to do our district Pinewood Derby. We find that to be the one of the highlights of the Cub Scout adventure, and so we will be planning to continue with that just at a different time. So we're not exactly sure. If anybody has any ideas as far as a time, location that kind of works out to have that event, please let us know. And kind of segueing off of that, we want you to ask questions. If you have any questions of anything, be sure to write that in the comment bar, the chat bar to the right of your screen there on YouTube. You can say something there. So if you want to go ahead and test it out, just drop us a hello or I'm here kind of thing so we know who's with us this evening. But definitely ask us questions if we go along. That's one of the benefits of using this platform. Also, a couple of things that have been postponed right now. The district camporee, we are looking at trying to do that at a different date to be determined as well. So if anybody has suggestions on that, we'll be happy to take those. And the OA conclave, which was scheduled to be this weekend, this upcoming weekend, is now scheduled to take place on August 28th through 30th. Still down at Camp Bowers. Many of you on your calendars and things like that may see that as Vigil Weekend. We are moving that one, I believe, up a weekend and making space for conclave there. So just a little bit of a note. So that's kind of the things that have been postponed at the moment. The only thing that's been canceled right now, as far as, events and things like that, the Silver Beaver reception had been is being postponed, and the DCD and things like that. But the Baloo, the Spring Baloo, which was actually going to be held here in Boone, has been postponed, and I think that they will do. I'm sorry, that's been canceled, and I think the next one will be next fall at Camp Raven Knob, I do believe. So still some more details to come out with that, but that should be when the next one is. Couple of other things. A lot of you are probably wondering what in the world's going on with summer camp this summer. Right now, we are planning to keep going with summer camp, and that's still the plan today. They have decided to try to get a decision together by the middle of May to let everybody know what their decision is on that. So stay tuned for decisions about camp. Of course, we want to have camp. It's a highlight of everybody's summer, I do believe. But just kind of hang with us on that, and we're planning towards getting ready for it. They are having a couple of really neat new programs at camp this summer that I want to mention real quick. They've added an ATV program for 14-year-olds and up. That's due to North Carolina laws. and small class number. So if you have scouts that are interested in taking that, be sure to get them signed up as quickly as possible on the website. It's I think they got 4 spaces for 14 and 15-year-olds and 4 spaces for 16 and up. So you'll want to get signed up as quick as you can. They've also added animation merit badge, which should be a pretty good one. And then they're adding a whitewater rafting trip. If anybody's interested, for an extra fee, you kind of miss all of your sessions on Tuesday to go up to the New River Gorge, do a little bit of paddling up there all day and come back. But you can see all those details on the Tenaroo site as you sign up for camp. But just a new option for this summer. But everything is planning to go on. Also, the payments that are normally due around this time, or before this time actually, those have been moved back to May 30th. All payments, Cub Camp and Scouts BSA Camp, those were both moved back to May 30th due to the fact that many of our fundraising opportunities for this spring have obviously been canceled or postponed. So we were trying to work with you on getting those payments in and doing what we can to help out there. Let's see, camp cards. Camp cards, that sale was scheduled to end at like May 15th, I believe. So that has been extended out to the end of June. So we'll keep on selling them. I wish I had more cards to get out to you so you can keep on selling down through May. But just those of you that still have them, keep on selling. And I know there's some folks that hadn't even had a chance to get their cards yet. Right before all this started, we were trying to get to you, and that just didn't happen. So anyways, but just kind of keep on selling those. I've seen a couple of units around the council selling those on Facebook, dropping them in the mail, or, having, somebody, electronically send you payment for them or whatever it be. So there's a couple of different options to keep selling if you're in the motivation to do that. But we want you to have the opportunity to continue to sell those. One note, while everybody is kind of confined to their homes, if you are, it's an excellent time to work on a little bit of training. We've got a lot of training opportunities on my.scouting.org. If you took your youth protection, the new one when it came out February 1st of 2018 or around that time, you guys are going to need to take retake youth protection. Your 2 years has passed up or about to, so you'll need to do that. But also, Cub Master, Den Leader trainings, all that kind of stuff. Get out there and get some trainings going. So we want you to have those options. At this point, I'm going to, got one more thing. Something new that we have been working on in the past few days is the council has decided to go ahead and do some online merit badges for scouts that are at home during this time, to give them a little bit something to do. It's been very well received around the council. And so hopefully by next week, we will have a few merit badges available for scouts to take. It's a little bit different format. If you've had scouts or been looking at the options that other councils are offering, it's kind of a work at your own pace merit badge where we provide the resources to you, but it's a really neat system and things like that. So bear with us on when we get that going. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Will. He's got a couple of key details to talk about, and then I've got a few more, and then we're going to talk a little bit about scouting at home. So, Will, I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
Okay, thanks very much. First thing I want to touch on is recharter. We're looking pretty good as a district, but we still have some loose ends to tie up. I'm trying to work the things that I need with each individual unit, because that's kind of what we're down to. So I think everybody's done the bulk of it. But if we reach out to you for signatures and things, we're sending things through the mail, we're scanning and faxing and emailing, and we can do a lot that way to keep that rolling. So if you have paperwork out there that you need to get to me, by all means, reach out to me and I'll find a way to get it one way or the other. One of the things that's coming up too that we're assuming is going to happen is Cub Scout Day Camp. Last year we had our biggest showing in some time, and we're hoping to even improve on that this year. And given that we've had a break unplanned this spring, I think recharter or day camp is going to be more important than ever to provide program to the Cub Scouts and their families. So our next day camp meeting is April 21st, 6:30. It's a week from today, and it'll be a virtual meeting. We'll figure out if we use this platform or Zoom or something else to get everybody connected. and keep those plans rolling forward. The important thing is that day camp registration is going to open on April 15th, which is tomorrow. And 95% of our attendees at day camp are registered through the unit. So Cub leaders need to start communicating to your units about the day camp and start getting your registration list together. I'm going to send out an email as soon as we are done, and it'll have the day camp flyer that you can print and distribute and send around to your families and get them thinking about day camp. But we definitely want to make sure that day camp is in your schedule. And look for that meeting next week. We'll send out the notice, and anybody can attend to that day camp planning meeting as well. Let's see. If you have not, I mean, I know a lot of our units have active social media, active text, active email groups, and things like that going. But the thing to watch for is sometimes that communication tends to be one way. And I think unit leaders need to look at all the families in their units. And if there's somebody they're not hearing from on social media, that they're not seeing, responding to emails and things, that might be a good time to reach out, give a phone call or a text. Find some way to connect with them, make sure that they're doing okay, and that you, as their scout family, that we understand their particular needs during this time. It's just safe to say we're all doing things quite a bit differently. Be a good time to check in with your families and make sure that they know that scouting is still happening, that we're looking for ways to continue it, and just touch base with all of them in an individual way if you're not seeing them on your other social media. Many decisions are yet to be made about the next few weeks in the summer. I think the best thing that we can do is first assume these things coming up are going to happen, so we're ready for them. I think that as unit leaders, we all need to think about what that next unit meeting looks like. The next time we're allowed to get in the same room with these scouts and these parents and our fellow leaders, what does that meeting look like? I guarantee you it looks different. One, because of social distancing and the desires of our chartering organizations and all the guidance we're getting from district and from council and from national, and also guidance we're getting from Wilkesboro, North Wilkesboro, Wilkes County, all the way up to the state and Washington, D.C. Things are going to change with how we do our meetings, and it's best if we think about that now before we get in the throes of that first meeting when we're all back together. If there was ever a good time to get your unit committee together and discuss things to get ready for that meeting, teleconference or something might help to be ready for that. Every unit, when this break is over, every unit is going to have things to think about in terms of program, advancement, finance, finishing recharter and paperwork, training. And then the big thing is getting your Cubs ready for day camp and your scouts ready for Camp Raven Knob. So be thinking about how that works. We've got a couple of weeks where we're still not going to be meeting, and now's a good time to prepare for when we are gonna meet. I think that the other thing I would remind is that I've seen some units doing a lot of great things on their social media pages when we start merit badges remotely and things like that. Just remember the Guide to Safe Scouting does give us several reminders about electronic communications. So no one-on-one contact, too deep leadership, all of that stuff applies to our electronic communication. So if you're a leader reaching out to scouts, it's best to reach out to parent and have parent there when you put them on speakerphone. If you're working an advancement or a requirement issue, but just remind our parents and all of our leaders that Guide to Safe Scouting applies to our digital communication as well. There's been a question about boards of review and what we're going to do about those boards of review that we normally have at the district level. I hadn't even really thought about how to do that and the actual boards until today when someone reminded me of it. So I'm going to reach out to Steve Steele and see what their capability is for a virtual board, or if restrictions are lifted and we can do some in-person things in smaller groups, maybe those kind of things. But we definitely need a plan for that. I appreciate the question from Jay Clement on that, and we'll try to get an answer out to everybody as soon as we can about how we're going to make that kind of stuff happen. And I also just want to tell everybody with all the things we don't know, now's a good time to stay in contact with your social media, with your emails, your phone lists. And as leaders, we all need to keep reaching out and keeping these families engaged and getting them engaged in these new things that we're doing online, with merit badges and advancement and things like that. If you have ideas for things we can do related to advancement or related to keeping kids engaged, I think Hunter is going to talk a little bit about a program he's found that I think is awesome. I can't wait to start it myself. So with that, Hunter, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I think you have a 30-day challenge you want to talk about.
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Will. I appreciate all those comments. Just a little thing on board of review. What National has given each council as a clearance to extend any time-sensitive board of reviews out until the end of September. So if you have somebody that's right on the edge of getting their board of review done, that coming up on a birthday or whatever it be, we've got time here to work on that. But we will definitely work on some options of trying to get some things done while we can, while we're all at home anyway. So we will work on that. So, Will, I appreciate you going over those details and whatnot. Definitely some, interesting times ahead, but being prepared to jump back in the saddle and get scouting again is going to be crucial to getting those kids back engaged and back to scouting as normal. One other thing that I was asked to talk about, OA elections are looking a little different right now. They are looking at going virtual with OA elections. So we will be reaching out to our unit leaders or scoutmasters about doing OA elections in a virtual format. Not sure what all the details are on that, but check your emails. I'm sure you'll be probably getting something from Bob here in the next few days regarding that. So hopefully we are able to do some of those elections that way. But I think they've extended that a little bit as far as working with our units on getting those done. All right. So to continue on a little bit about scouting at home, that has become a household term at this point that I don't think too many of us had really crossed our mind. That it's a term that hasn't crossed our minds before, and so it's become very common in my household of trying to figure out different ways that we can keep our scouts back at home interested in the program. So there's so many different resources out there, and I'm going to go over a few of those with you. It may be some stuff that you've already seen because people have just been sharing them within the scouting community on Facebook and whatever it be. So to kind of kick it off, again, I want to reiterate, sometime next week, we will have online merit badges going live for scouts to sign up for and take. We'll be starting out with about 3 or 4 merit badges, and then hopefully rolling out a new batch each week that'll kind of pile up on each other. So our kids in the troops will have plenty of opportunity to advance while they're at home. There's several things with merit badges that we can't necessarily do on a virtual platform, but there's several parts of merit badges that can be done at home with their families, or once scouting gets back together, they can easily knock some of those merit badges out. So one of the neatest things, in my opinion, that we've seen came from our friends over at the Hawkeye Area Council out in Iowa, and it's called the 30-Day Challenge. And just give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen really quick so you guys can see what's going on. So let's see here. Yep. Nope. All right. So real quick. All right, there you go. You see my screen now. All right, so this right here is called the 30-Day Challenge, and this was created by our friends over at the Hawkeye Area Council down in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And pretty much what they did is they created a 30-day platform for scouts to continue their program at home. And so each week, or maybe over a course of a couple weeks, they will be completing a or several different adventures as part of their program. So what we're going to do real quick, Hopefully everybody can see this. Sorry, I just keep going back to make sure. What we're going to do real quick is we're going to click on one. There is one for each set of ranks in the Cub Scout program, a different 30-day challenge. So all of your scouts are going to have the opportunity to do something here. So I'm going to blow this up a little bit so y'all can see it a little bit better. Let's see here. There we go. That'll make it a little better there. But each day, and this, started for the month of April. So if you're wanting to implement this, I would suggest, you can either back it up or, continue it on once you get to the end of the month, start with what day it is now. But as you can see up here at the top, like week 1, you're doing Paws on the Path, and week 4, you're doing Code of the Wolf. So you can actually knock out 5 different adventures during the month of April and what they have scheduled here. So we will be posting this link on the chat here, but we'll also be emailing that out to you for you guys to check that out. But it's just a really neat opportunity to keep your scouts engaged at the home level by doing just one simple thing each day. It may be going on a walk outside, or it may be, drawing a picture or whatever it be. So go try it. I think this is probably one of the neatest options out there. And this went viral about, 3 weeks ago, I guess. People were all about it, to the point where last week where I was trying to show this, it took forever just to get on the website. So many people checking it out. So that's the Cub Scout one. And again, they've got one for each rank in the Cub Scout program. So be sure to go through that and send that out to your families. You can download each one, post it on your Facebook pages, whatever it be. There's also the Scouts BSA Challenge. It's a little bit different. What it's doing is it is working on a piece of a merit badge each day. And some of these merit badges we may end up doing online for Scouts to do. But as you can see here, it's just kind of doing a piece of a merit badge each day. As you can see, let's see, what's today? Today is the 14th. You can work on nuclear science merit badge. And you can knock out actually a couple of the requirements for nuclear science merit badge in one day. So really neat opportunities here. I highly suggest you check it out. I haven't seen anybody else put something like this out there at the moment, but it's just a super easy and neat program for your scouts to work on while they are at home. Something to give them the option to do between schoolwork and running around the house and playing video games or whatever it be. So the biggest thing here with scouting at home is keeping kids in the scouting program. So we're going to bounce back here real quick. Move from the screen. There we go. All right. And we are back. So talk about a few more things. We highly suggest, and we've seen several units across the country in our council doing Zoom meetings for their pack and their troop, where the scouts can get together and at least meet like a pack meeting in a way, come up with different activities. I'm sure if you were to get on YouTube after this and, Google Zoom troop meeting or something like that, you're going to find some resources out there to help you. So, take advantage of what's out there, use it, and keep our scouts engaged. If we don't keep our scouts engaged at this point, we will definitely lose some of our scouts through this time, and we want to keep them as engaged as we can. Let's see here. There's several merit badges that can be worked on at home, and these may be some that we end up working on. But just to name a few: family life, personal management, personal fitness, reading, American heritage, pets, emergency preparedness, public health, medicine, radio, and all the citizenships have a lot of requirements that can be done in your homes. I know for a fact the ones we will be more than likely rolling out next week are pets merit badge, dog care merit badge, and as well as citizenship in the nation. So we're going to have some easier ones and some ones you may never have the option to get, but also some ones that you're probably going to need down the road, like a citizenship merit badge. So we're going to have several of those rolling out over the next few weeks, but just to give you an idea. As far as some of the activities with the troop goes, again, one of the big things that a scout can do at home as part of the requirements for, I think it's second class or first class, something like that, is or cooking merit badge, is cooking a meal at home for your family and developing your menu there. This is a perfect time for them to get that experience doing that. Let's see here. Okay. Just checking our messages there, but we're good. So cooking that meal at home would be great. As we are scouting at home, we've seen several of our units posting pictures on their Facebook pages or whatever else. If you post on your personal page, give us a shout out to the Old Hickory Council, hashtag Old Hickory Council or OHCBSA, something like that. We love seeing our scouts continuing the program at home and maybe get an idea to share with other families as well. So be sure to share that with us, so that way we can share that with our other units around the council. Also, this is a really neat opportunity to be scouts and to be servants to our community. And so there are, I think, a lot of opportunities for the scout units at this time to give back to our communities, whether it's starting up somehow a small little scouting for food fund, or canned food drive to give back to our local food banks. I know a lot of them are struggling at the moment because people haven't been able to give, and a lot of people are in need at this time, being out of work and stuff like that. So if you come up with a creative way of collecting cans, or if we've got a scout making masks for people in the community, let us know, and we definitely want to share that with our other units, because this is a time where scouting always needs to shine. When the world's in a crisis, it's always you always see later on down the road somewhere where a scout was making a difference. And so that's what we try to do each and every day, is do our good turn daily. And so this is a neat opportunity to really help some people out in a bigger opportunity. So definitely think about that. All right. So one of the other things I have seen online, Boys Life magazine, I'm sure everybody's familiar with Boys Life. They've got a Facebook page, and everybody needs to go check that Facebook page out, because they've got a lot of really neat resources on there. They've got two really good resources they're offering right now. The Boys Life app that you can download on your phone or your tablet. They've got free magazines for a year that are full of activities and jokes and whatever else. And so be sure to go on there, download the Boys Life app, and take advantage of that free opportunity to look at the magazines and whatever else. The other opportunity that they give us is they are doing a Facebook Live event each weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern time on their Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/boyslife. And you can go on there at 3 p.m. each day, and they will be doing an adventure. And so I think this is a really neat opportunity, probably directed towards more of our Cub Scouts, to go on an adventure throughout the world somewhere, but do it at home. So you can get the opportunity to see things around the world where they'll take you. So check in there and actually there's a link there. I'm going to send it out to you that gets you directly to their Facebook Live. But check that out. It's a really neat opportunity to just travel while sitting on your couch. So be sure to check that out. Will mentioned before, but I want to reiterate again the importance of youth protection during this time of meeting virtually. And I'm just going to read something. That way you kind of get the point across. Right now, it is critical that we continue to keep youth protection top of mind, whether our scouting activities are taking place in person or through a digital platform. Remember that the BSA prohibits any one-on-one interaction between an adult leader and a scout, in person, online, through a web conference, over the phone, text message, or in any other form. So during this time where we're doing a lot of things virtually, please be sure to keep in mind our youth protection standards. Keep that at the forefront, because with the day and age and things going on online, we want to make sure that we're protecting not only our scouts, but protecting ourselves as well. So be sure to keep those youth protection standards in mind. Before we continue, we've got just a few other things, little details that we are going to go over. Will, I want to check back in with you just real quick to see if there's anything that I've missed or that you want to go over real quick.
A couple of things on merit badges. They're going to be offering merit badges through council, as Hunter mentioned earlier. Just you can also remind your scouts if there's a merit badge they want to work on, they approve it through their leader. Find a counselor. Leaders can help them do that. If you need a counselor, we can help you locate one. But basically, merit badges are designed to be worked on by the scout. And there's not a single. I pulled down 6 merit badge books the other day and looked at them, and not a single one of them says sign up for a class. So what they all say is you can work on a merit badge, and we can help them do any merit badges they want to do. Next thing I want to mention is a lot of longtime scouters here in the district, certainly folks that have been associated with Cook Crew know Ray Caudle. You may or may not have known that he has been in the hospital for a few weeks now. He was in need of a surgery, and he elected not. They gave him a 50-50 chance of surviving that surgery, so he elected not to do it. And they unplugged him from a lot of stuff, and so far he seems to be doing better. However, he still needs a lot of prayers, and his family needs to be in our thoughts and prayers. A scout is reverent, and while we can all do what we can to help, certainly prayers for Ray Caudle would be most appreciated by him and his family and a lot of his friends. So please keep Ray and his family on your prayer list.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray being a longtime scouter and keeping us all well fed at OA events, but also mentoring a whole lot of youth and adults during that time. So let's be sure to keep them in our thoughts and prayers moving forward. We get attached to longtime scouters in this council, and rightfully so, due to the service that they give this program. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers as we move forward over the next few days and weeks. And we wish the best for him and his family. So, Will, thanks for bringing that up. I see a question there from Gary Jordan. Is camp school still on? I think I talked to Keith yesterday, and I believe they are going to cancel the national camp school that was scheduled at camp during May. They have gone ahead and canceled that, I do believe. So keep that in mind. We also had to cancel the day camp national camp school training as well. They've moved somehow to an online platform, but I don't think we had any folks going to that this year. So really, just to wrap this up, the one thing I would like to mention real quick, as many of you probably understand, we've had to the council has had to take a step back from performing our fundraising duties due to unit meetings, family presentations, and things like that being canceled, as well as not being able to get together with our community due to COVID-19. And as a nonprofit, currently it's been a very difficult time for the Old Hickory Council, and it's going to be rough roads ahead. And we would appreciate any support from our families or our communities that do normally support us or would like to start supporting the Old Hickory Council. I've got a link that I'm going to share real quick of ways you can give, but I know many of you go ahead and make a pledge each year, and you've got until the end of the year to send that into the office. And if you want to go ahead and make that pledge, shoot me a text or give me a call or an email, and I'll be happy to get that in. Or if you just want to give online, you can go to the council website and look for the link that says Support Scouting up at the upper right-hand corner. So we would appreciate that just due to the difficult time. And we understand that a lot of folks at home are going through difficult times. So if you have the ability to make a pledge or make a gift, we would certainly appreciate that to keep scouting continuing and coming up with these new ideas and online merit badges and things like that. So we would greatly appreciate it. Just to kind of go on down, we do ask you to share this message as much as you can. We went over some neat things and opportunities for scouts back at home to continue the scouting program. So please be sure to share. This video will be available for anybody to go view. I will shorten it down so you don't have to watch about an hour long of nobody standing there. But we'll shorten that down, and we'll send that link out as well again on the email that Will sends out here in a few minutes with a lot of these resources on there. But please share this. We want kids to continue the scouting program. We desperately need them too during this awkward time. Our contact information has been scrolling down there on the bottom, mine and Will's. Be sure to send us an email or have any questions, be sure to just shoot us an email. My phone number is listed there as well. Hadn't been ringing as much during this time, so feel free to give me a call and burn up my ear for a little while. It's been weird not having phone calls from all you guys. So be sure to give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'll be getting back with you as quickly as possible, and I'm sure will as well. So at that, Will, do you have anything else real quick?
No, I think that's it for me. Appreciate everybody being here. And as Hunter said, please share this link. It's going to be around, and need for as many families to see what's going on in Wilkes as possible.
All right, Will, I appreciate you joining with us. And guys, we appreciate everybody that's joined with us here tonight. And again, share this message. There are so many resources out there about how you can continue scouting at home. Our website or any other council's website, if you just want to start researching. I do it about every day looking for new opportunities, but just get around and share it, look around, and keep scouting. So thanks for all you do. And the last thing I want to say is obviously during this time, we're always looking for a good turn daily. If there's anything that I can do, Will can do, please feel free to reach out to us at any point. We are always happy to help. We've been stuck at home for quite a while at this point, so we're probably looking for an excuse. If you need some help, if you had wind damage the other night or whatever it be, reach out to us. We're happy to help, and we appreciate what you're doing. So thank you guys so much for joining with us. I just want to check the comments real quick. All right, so thank you guys so much, and we will see you once this is all over. See you guys.